Every tour that you have scheduled will have a TourMaster record. To get to the TourMaster database, you click on the darker blue TourMaster button. This record will contain all of the basic information about this tour departure. It will have a tour code. The tour code is probably the only code-like information in TourTools. It typically consists of a few characters and then some numbers which correspond to the departure date of the tour. And this is a good example. WASH would be Washington, D.C., 05/01/05. This would be May 1st, 2005. This is an abbreviated way to have a reference to a specific tour on any report. The tour name, the dates of the tour, the length of the tour in days and nights, a destination category. You have the ability to assign a tour type. And again, this is primarily for marketing data. TourTools will track insurance for you. If you have different insurance programs, different insurance policies that you either provide or that you sell, TourTools will be able to track that policy information, the premium information. It can actually calculate the premiums for you, and then your passengers can opt in or opt out, and it can the fees for insurance can automatically be added to their booking record. It will allow you to track information about different people who are responsible for different sets of tasks. The account manager, the travel counselor, program designer, operations officer. The names, the titles, we can adjust to suit you, but essentially this will allow you to set these trips up. Whoever's responsible for certain aspects of the operation of that trip can be established here. So if someone has a question, they can easily go to the correct person to ask their question. TourTools will track inventory a couple of different ways. You can set what we call gross inventory in the TourMaster record. This would be indicated here. We have 47 seats blocked. We have 5 utilized. In other words, there are 5 passengers in the booking record. We have set aside space for 2 singles and 22 doubles. And in this, at this point, we have 2.5 doubles booked. You can indicate the cost factor. In this case, it's 28. The cost factor is the number by which you divide the fixed costs of the tour. And we'll get into pricing a little bit more when we get to the packaging module. These are notes that you can load that are pertinent to this particular trip. These notes will also be visible when you're making a booking. So information like the hotel in Rome has been changed from the Ritz to the Holiday Inn. You can go ahead and list information like that, so the res agents will be aware of that and can pass on pertinent information to the passenger during the booking process. The inclusions and policy screen gives you information, additional fields that in the case of a cruise, you can have the ship name, the cruise line, the registry, the ship comp policy. It also has some information pertinent to publication to the website. As you know, TourTools has a web component. Currently, it will attach. It interfaces with TourTools to allow passengers to go to your website and then make bookings directly into TourTools. The deadline screen will support information relative to deposit dates and cancellation dates. You can schedule up to 5 deposit dates with amounts. And let me go ahead and load one here. So if I want my first deposit date to be 150 days prior, I put in 150 days here. That calculates to May 13th, 2013. I can click the button here to load it, and I'll put in a $25 deposit. Now this deposit can be per person or per group. A second deposit, let's say at 120 days, click here. And to illustrate a point, if I put 0.25 in, it can represent 25%. So these deposits are between your passengers and your company, not your company and your vendors. There's a different part of the system to track your deposit schedule with your vendors. You can have up to 5 scheduled deposits as well as a final payment date. Final payment date, more reasonably, might be 60 days prior. Cancellation penalty date is set here at 90 days prior, and it might be $100. You can then schedule up to 4 cancellation penalty dates, and again, they can be dollar amount or percentages. This information will automatically pass to the booking record when a booking record is created, so that the next payments are automatically calculated for your invoices and statements. It will also automatically process any cancellation penalties when you cancel a booking record. When you cancel a booking record, it does give you the option whether or not you wish to assess a cancellation penalty, so it doesn't just automatically do it. Every TourMaster record can have 1 or more packages. A package is the actual product that gets booked into the booking record. In this case, we have a standard package, what we call a core package. It offers single and double pricing. Over on the right-hand side here in the green fields, you see inventory listed. We have 4 singles available and 6 doubles available. As I mentioned, there are a couple of different ways to track inventory. Gross inventory is the total number of seats available on a departure, but we also have the ability to track inventory by person for a specific service. So if you have theater tickets or airline seats, you can specifically track that inventory. For rooms, you can track numbers of singles and doubles. This becomes important because if you have multiple packages, you may not book as much space for an optional package as you might for the core package. The difference between a core package and an optional package, a core package, if you're going on the trip, you have to book a core package. If a package is optional, as the name would imply, it's an option. This would be an extension to Rome. In this case, a couple of nights, and not everyone would be, you would expect to take that. We have 2 singles available and 4 doubles available. And we also have a staff single. This would be a package that you've created specifically for your tour manager. You might be wondering why you would do that. Well, Tour Manager uses inventory. If you have 20 rooms booked, you would reasonably expect the tour manager to stay in one of those rooms. So in the context of your relationship with that vendor, you need to tell the vendor exactly how many rooms you will be utilizing. Whether or not there's a tour manager, a group leader, or passengers, you are utilizing a certain number of rooms. In the context of the booking record, however, you would not expect that group leader to have to pay or that tour manager to have to pay for their room. So you'll notice that the price for the staff single room or package is 0. So basically, a package can have a couple of components, very important components, and that is a price for which will track receivables in the booking record, as also inventory utilization in order to manage your vendor relationship. So 2 very important aspects of each package. Each tour will have 1 or more departure points. We call them origins. Each origin point can be loaded, and essentially anytime you load an origin point, the system remembers it so you can pull it up next time. The green indicates the out or departure date and time. The red is the return date and time. Each departure point can have additional information such as directions to the departure point, phone numbers, contact information. So if you need to produce a departure sheet for either the driver or the passengers, you have a number of different details that you can convey to them. The to-do list, remember, that is the calendar for the system. This would be a review of all of the to-do items that are scheduled for this tour. You can pull it up at a glance, and again, with all of these lists, you don't see them here. There's no items loaded, but you would have quick links to each of these items in various parts of the system so that you could see what needed to be done. There is a specific part of the system, though, that is used for reporting to-do items. And we have the web publishing. Going to the report menu, we have a variety of different reports. We can pull up a tour list. This is just a sample report. Let's look at all the tours. That are leaving after January 1st, 2011. Essentially the name, the tour code, the group name if there's a group associated with it. Packages created, yes. Are there bookings? Yes. Begins. This is your cancel by date, a very important date. This would be the date that your company would lose a deposit. So this is a very important report in the context of preventing an accidental loss of deposit. Shows you how many seats you have available for sale and how many you have sold. A number of reports like that. Booking status, sale summary, again, a different mix of information. Very useful operations reports for the overall context of the tour. Cancel, final payment. Final payment basically is a cash flow report, which will tell you which trips will be coming up on their final payment date and how much will be coming in. And for the owner, we have profit and loss statements, which will generate a profit and loss for each tour or groups of tours. So very, very useful report to give you a status of a trip. And again, these reports are just a couple of button clicks away. As I mentioned earlier, let me go ahead and find a record that illustrates. You can assign a TourMaster record to a specific group. So if you have a group, we used to call them preform groups. When we have allocated a departure to a specific group, we're able to link that group leader's contact record to this TourMaster record. Then by implication, any booking record associated with this tour or booked on this tour will be linked then to this group leader. It makes it a lot easier to track than separate linking in each contact record, although both ways are viable and you will use both methods. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.